Ace Podcast.
Hey, this is Aaron.
And this is Craig.
And you're listening to my favorite podcast, Don't Wake the Kids.
On the Ace Podcast Network.
Whoa, I just got the spins.
We
Just the two of us doing
for
karaoke.
no audience whatsoever. Shit skull fucking jizz moppers.
But I'm having a really hard time focusing on what we have to do right now.
I'm really not about that fucking Harvey Weinstein shit.
Whoa, welcome back to Don't Wake the Kids.
Holy shit, you guys. What the fuck is up?
So
We've been bullshitting for 2 hours now.
two?
Off.
No, John, you got here 4 hours ago.
We've been bullshitting for 4 hours now.
We've been talking about all kinds of shit that's happened in our lives, and mostly John's life, because he's got this is the happiest John I've ever met.
This is okay.
Oh, all right. No,
Yeah.
You've listened to episode 22. If you haven't, go back, check it out. It's a good episode. John really opens up about, he was really down at that point in his life.
I was.
Right now, because of the last week, not even a full week, but the last couple days, this is literally, this is a different John than I've ever met. So this episode, you might not recognize this motherfucker.
You might not. This is a very hard 180 from episode 22. And what's so fucking awesome about this, and I'll get into the reason why this is fucking awesome, but I'm seeing myself through another person's eyes who is seeing me the way that I've seen myself for most of my life.
And that's, oh my God, it's so good. So Wednesday, we normally record on Wednesdays.
I wish we would have, because just so many women listening to the story that I'm about to tell.
Well, see, hold on. Normally we record on Wednesdays, and I texted John. I was like, "Hey, you good tonight?" He's like, "No, not tonight."
I certainly wasn't. I mean, I was, but not to record.
It's just this is a new John. I'm a fan of this John.
Yeah, it's old John returned.
It's John before I knew John. Whoa, I just got the spins.
You are fucking okay, so this fool has, at the moment, how much is in this? It looks like about a gallon.
It's a 1.75 liter.
Okay, so I'm going to call it a gallon. It's a gallon of 20% wine. He's halfway through it right now. And yeah, we're both fucking hammered.
No, that's over halfway. All right, so he got here about 4 hours ago, and we've sat in Snowball Studio 37
in a row
watching. We've been on YouTube just watching fucking videos, and we've been doing karaoke.
We
the two of us doing
for
karaoke.
no audience whatsoever. We weren't even recording, and we should have been, because we're good singers.
I am voluntarily sleeping on my couch tonight because I know as soon as I go into the house, once I leave the studio, it's a bad idea, and I'm just going to sleep on the couch so that my wife doesn't get mad at me.
I'm going to sleep in Randall's garage because I may not make it to my car.
I think you should probably I have a couch,
But you're going to be on it, and I don't want to spoon you.
It's a sectional. There's 2 sections.
Yeah, okay. That's okay. That's going to happen.
You're like 12 feet taller, so I'll take the smaller section.
Please do. Please do. I need to stretch.
But
we have
God, all right. Pre-warning. Before this week, we are here for Black Mirror season 4, episode 3, Crocodile. No crocodiles in this episode.
None.
But this episode is dedicated to Black Mirror season 4, episode 3. Before we get into that, John has some shit to say. And before he says that, I will say it is entirely related to why this is the happiest John I've ever met.
It is, and I'm so, I hate that I'm doing this now instead of on episode 4 of Black Mirror.
Yeah, next week would have been the best thematically.
Thematically, it was so perfect, but...
So, hold on. Before you get I just want to for anybody that hasn't gone ahead and watched season 4, episode 4, it's basically a dating app. That is the episode.
Season 4, episode 4 is the San Junipero of season 4.
Yeah, it's the feel good. I love it. Yeah. What John has had this week is the San Junipero
of my life,
except straight version.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And so thematically, this would work better for tomorrow or for next week's episode. This would work better for, but what happened is so fresh in my mind that if I were to tell this story next week, I would fuck up. Like, details would be lost.
You would, but all right. So for everyone listening that doesn't work or previously had worked with us,
which is 100% of the audience.
Right? Yeah, nobody that we've ever worked with actually listens to us.
Those
but
bitches.
John told this story, and he's basically going to recap what he told us in our group chat.
Yeah, so we have, and if you've listened to the show before, we have we're boys. And we have a Slack, if you know what Slack is, so we communicate with the rest of our boys in Slack.
It's an internet group chat.
And it makes work the fucking greatest. But before we do that, you need to social media things. Facebook, Twitter.
Facebook.com/don'twakethekids.
Yes.
Twitter and Instagram at DWTK Podcast. Oh, and before John really gets into this, fuck. Seriously, guys, I have never.
We're celebrating.
We've been doing this for over a year, and I have not got this drunk before recording. And
no,
I'm having a lot of fun, but I'm having a really hard time focusing on what we have to do right now. Anyways,
where
was I going?
We were talking about you. It was Instagram,
Facebook.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is, for the fans of Don't Wake the Kids, if you are a Coheed and Cambria fan, whether you like the music or the comics or the possibility of a future movie that Mark Wahlberg has signed off on, he actually bought the rights for. Years ago.
I don't keep up.
This is
but
old.
Still,
yeah, you're out of the loop.
I'm fucking psyched.
So there's a new podcast called All Things Coheed Podcast. If you listen to, I believe it's episode 5 of Don't Wake the Kids, # All Things Coheed. I talked to my friend Cindy about literally all things Coheed and Cambria.
I recall that.
Her and I want to say 4, maybe 3 other guys in the Children of the Fence, the Coheed and Cambria fan club, they started a podcast. They've released, as of us recording this, they've released 1 episode that is a preview to what you can expect in the future. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna be a guest on there. It's gonna be a good time. So if you're on iTunes or whatever streaming app you use, search for the All Things Coheed podcast, subscribe.
Snurb.
Leave them a review.
Yes.
It's gonna be good shit.
All right.
But yeah, so John, you met a lady this week.
Okay. So here we go. Now, so I'm not going to go straight into the Slack thing because obviously everybody wasn't there. Okay, so today's
Friday. Well, technically today is Saturday.
Saturday, January 20th. For reference, the events in this has all been within the last week and a half or so. So last week, I want to say Thursday. No, it had to be Wednesday because we have that stupid goddamn meeting every fucking week on Thursday. So last week, Wednesday, I signed. Like, anybody who's listened to episode 22 knows what the fuck is going on. I'm not going to recap the entire thing, but I signed my divorce papers on last week, Wednesday.
If you don't know what he's talking about, listen to episode 22. It's literally titled John Opens Up. He talks about all the shit he's gone through with his now ex-wife. It's, if you've ever dealt with any kind of mental illness, just gone through shitty shit ever, listen to that episode and
If you've been down, dude, you're fucking not alone.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
And I hesitate to say that, everything works out in the end because I don't fucking know. But
We live in America. It doesn't-
you're not fucking alone. Just shit happens and yeah, that's how it is. So last Wednesday I finally signed, and this has been a long fucking time coming. So I signed, we were done. It's over. We still live together.
Divorce papers.
Yeah.
Is what he signed.
And I, because she's got to finish school, and I don't want to have to dick with selling the house.
You guys
and
have
shit.
been technically separated for about a year or so. At
Roughly,
least.
I don't remember the exact day, but it feels like it's been exactly a year
Yeah.
to the day that this happened. So I signed the papers, and it's knowing that it was coming, like, it sucks. It's shitty. And so I signed the papers, continue on with my fucking life, do what I got to do.
Which is basically work and come here and talk to me about shit.
Yeah, basically. And actually, we recorded last week's episode like in the middle of that. Yeah. So Monday comes around, and I go into work, and I'm looking at a fucking piece of paper with my name on it sitting on the fucking desk. And I look at it.
Your
and
work
it's
desk.
My work desk, yeah. And I'm looking at it, and it's got girl handwriting on it, and I can't tell you exactly what it said because we're drunk and there's too many things going on at once. But it was something to the effect of, I think you're fucking hot, and whenever I see you, I don't know what the fuck to say to you. I don't know if you're in a relationship. I don't know how old you are. I don't know if this shit even matters. I just had to tell you. No signature, no name, no idea what the fuck is going on. As we stated earlier, we have a Slack chat with the shit skull fucking jizz moppers that we worked with.
The heart of that company.
And I'm thinking that one of these fucking douchebags is fucking with me at this point. And I'm like, okay, this is in bad taste. I can take a joke, but I'm not going to get too fucking mad about it. So I took a picture of the thing. I posted it in the chat. I'm like, okay, which one of you fucking shitheads did this shit? Nobody's fucking claiming responsibility for it.
Because none of us did it.
Indeed. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm still being fucked with, so I didn't make too big of a deal out of it because I figure if I don't make a fucking big deal about it, eventually whoever fucking did it is just going to fess up
Right.
and be like, whatever, because the joke's not going to go far enough for a payoff, I'm not going to fucking get too involved in the shit. So by the end of the day, nobody's fessed up to anything. So I'm sitting here and I can't stop thinking about this fucking note all day. I'm like, something.
To me, when he posted the note, I read it. I was like, this is either someone really fucking with him, or I might be worried for my friend.
Yeah. And okay, we'll get into that. So at the end of the day, nobody's fessed up. So I'm like, fucking, what is, like, they're carrying it on, although, because, okay, so when I signed my papers, I took a picture and posted it to Facebook, and most of the people I got on there, I got on Facebook. So I'm like, okay, so somebody knew, somebody was fucking with me. Nobody fessed up to the shit. So I had a sticky note on my desk that had a number sign on it with a question mark. It didn't have anything to do with anything. And I'm sorry, honey, but I told you a little bit different of a story. Now you're hearing the real thing, and she listens to the show, so she's going to hear this next week. But so I put a hashtag, like a hashtag with a question mark. It had nothing to do with anything, but I just kind of slapped it on the note because I'd see it, and took off. I come in the next day. There's another note sitting on my desk along the same lines of what had been said in the first place, but where it seemed like I was asking for a phone number, I guess. So there's a phone number on there. So there's a second note on there. I snap a picture of that. I posted in the chat. I'm like, okay, which one of you fucking jizz moppers is fucking doing this? At this point, somebody's going to fucking claim credit for this. And so nobody does again. And there's a phone number on the thing. And so I said, okay, so there's a phone number on there. So God bless Justin. If you're listening, God bless you, man. but his wife works
Yeah.
at AT&T, and he says, send me a DM of the number and I'll have Heather take a look at it. So I sent him the number. Like, I'm thinking this is going to be, you know, an all day thing. Like 5 minutes later, he's like, the name is yada, yada, yada. Is that somebody you know? I did not recognize the name at all, but I plugged it into the thing where I can look people up. And this is a real person.
Company directory.
Yeah, this is a real person who works at the company. And so I'm like, okay, so we're creeping at this point. And so I'm like, she's got to have a Facebook, yada, yada, yada. We look at the Facebook, and again, baby, I'm sorry, your Facebook picture's not the greatest. But when I saw the Facebook picture, I knew who it was that we were talking about. And the note had said, you said hi to me, and it made my heart flutter. And I was sitting there trying to think, who the fuck did I say hi to?
John doesn't say hi to people.
I give everybody the friendly nod. When you pass somebody, you make eye contact, you make the nod, and then you're good to go. I make the friendly nod. I'm trying to think, who the fuck did I say anything to? Because I'm thinking I literally said something to somebody. I said something to a guy, and I said something to another guy, and I'm like, okay, so either he's fucking with me or I've got a gay guy after me, which is fine. Not gay myself, but cool. Grats on you for bringing it up. But no, it was the nod that counted as saying hi.
Yeah.
And so I started texting the number. So I'm like, so what's going on? And now at this point, I'm going to read. I'm not going to get into like all the details of what's going on, because another thing involved in this situation is that another one of our former coworkers is really close. This is his best friend's mom. They're really close, and I don't want to get vulgar with what's going on because I understand the situation. So what I'm about to read to you is basically a verbatim thing of where I had talked to this guy, and I'm like, I know you don't want to hear this, so if that's the case, let me know. And he was like, no, man, just I can ignore shit. So here we go. And now this is, oh, fuck me. Okay, so this is from the perspective of the day after, which will make sense after I go through this. So yesterday we were texting back and forth, and she told me she never really does this as far as, you know, just randomly talking to fucking dudes. And she doesn't really know how it's supposed to go and all that. And so I'm not prying into her sexual history at the time, but it turns out she hasn't really been with a lot of guys, and this kind of thing sort of was new to her, and it made her pretty nervous. So immediately I'm like, I've got to get the music right for this, because I'm really not about that fucking Harvey Weinstein shit. And you got to be comfortable with what the situation is. Otherwise, nobody's going to have a good time. So while I'm sitting there doing my stupid ass job and I'm listening to Spotify, and I'm like, I got to find a good enough playlist, knowing nothing about this person. Well, woman, I guess I can specify at least that much. I've got to get a playlist that's just right, just going to be comfortable. So I'm listening to random ass horseshit, and I finally found what it was I was looking for, and I kind of built a playlist on Spotify around this. And so I'm not going to Harvey Weinstein this fucking shit. Like, it's just not gonna fucking happen. So the entire point of me trying to find a playlist is just so that we're comfortable, because she seems nervous, you know, saying it's not something she normally does. I got to make sure that's going on.
All right, guys. So it was at that point in the night when I had to quit. It was a sudden exit on my part, and we could not continue because I had too much to drink. It really all hit me at once. I was doing okay, and then I really wasn't. And so John went home, and I went inside. And when I'd said earlier in the episode that I was going to sleep on the couch so as to not piss off my wife, that was not a success. I royally pissed her off. She was livid. So now, and I apologize, it's entirely my fault. Also, I'm really bummed out about this part. John is no longer on Don't Wake the Kids, because even though it was my fault, I drank too much, the we'll say co-owner of our studio here has banned him from being in the studio anymore, and that really sucks. Not happy about it. I'm also sorry that we did not get into Black Mirror season 4 episode 3 in this episode. I'm gonna try to figure something out. I will find another guest, or hopefully maybe turn into another co-host. I'll find other guests. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but that is pretty much it. Yeah, I'm pretty bummed out. I fucked up.
Angry, but I'm sorry. I don't